Apologies for the previous video where I seemed very tired, especially during the beginning. I am very tired, but I think it's not that I'm very tired, but I got a mean headache as I was sitting out in the sun, soaking up some sun. I love sun, but I have noticed that if I sit in very hot weather and on a sunny day, naturally, I do get a pretty intense headache. So there's that. Just wanted to give a heads up. if you see my other video and then you're looking at this one, you're like, huh, she look kind of like tired. I feel tired. I feel like a lot of the energy was or left the building. Yeah, so I want to talk about more or less globalization, internationalism, because I feel like that has been one of the that has been one of the key factors into why people even like the USA. It's highly globalized. It has many groups of people from just about everywhere around the world. And as you guys know, I'm from New York City, so I feel like I've experienced that very heavily in New York City. Can I say that the same applies for all of the states? Heck no. But I can say that the USA has seemed to be the home for many people, right? And with this ethnic cleansing, which I just spoke about, occurring in the US, because it seems like that's it, right? And also it ties back to what I said in the beginning of the video, where I was watching, the Malcolm X movie, and that very image of the family, their home being burned down by the KKK, right? The Klansmen, whatever you want to call them, that was like a depiction of, I feel like, how white America is, especially to communities of color, where they'll take everything from you, right? And then they expect you to leave, when they find it's no longer, for them, or whatever, however they envision it. I think it's more hinged on hate and racism nowadays, but it's almost as if this country has always tried to benefit, right? Always take from the Black and brown communities, right? Through free labor, through cheap labor. And that continues to occur today. And once they don't care or need or have a need for you, they toss you to the side, which is, interesting, given the fact that although white Americans, right, those that align with white supremacy, believe in their delusional minds that well, I guess it's honestly, I always call this America, right, with the K's, with the double K, with the triple K's, because it's like, it's always upheld the white community, the white people, right, those that are closest to the colonizer, to an extent, although I feel like there's xenophobia as well, and I've spoken about that. But I'm always tickled by the simple fact the community would ever claim such, that they built this country, and that being the white community. As we know, they enslaved the Black community. They made them work, and they do that now in a different way, where they're paying individuals, immigrant individuals, that just so happen to be communities of color, meager wages, unlivable wages, right? So we see this happen still time and time again. And they're delusional enough to believe that there's American people that will do these jobs that they're paying meager wages. Yeah, no one believes that. So yes, okay. You guys didn't even do your own work back in the day, right? When it came to do a lot of laborious work, you enslaved people to do labor for you. And now today, you're just paying people meager wages to do that same work for you. Okay, sure. Yes. White America has never wanted to work. And those are the only people that they should be tackling about taking advantage of the benefits, right? Reaping all the benefits. And I had a interesting, actually, I don't know if this would continue recording. I wish I would have transferred it over to my email. But perhaps I'll share in another video because I do want to dive into what I wrote. All right. It's ludicrous to see globalization, which was once at the core of the United States' greatness, diminish. This country has only been great and has become great because of the racial and ethnic diverse communities. Great food, only due to immigrant communities. Great music, only due to diverse populations, right? The Black community, hey. As an avid hip hop and R&B and rap music fan, all of its music have roots in the Black community, particularly in New York City during the 1970s. Which brings me to this tourist attraction city, right? New York City. People only flock there due to not only it essentially being made up of the world and feeling as if you can experience the world, but due to it being an entertainment hub throughout its history. When I think of certain celebrities, or in other words, musicians like Frank Sinatra, which I grew up listening to, the music in which he and many recognized artists upheld were inspired by the Black community. The USA and any colonized country wouldn't even be where it's at if they wouldn't have used Black and brown bodies for free and eventually cheap labor, as this is still going on today, right? So America's shifting from globalization and internationalism will have major repercussions, and thus be the end of this empire, as the world would never have been keen on these regions would they have been solely white. End of story, period.